And here we go.
Yeah, all right. We're live now, but we got to hit the old intro. Smooth transition day here at Shea. Welcome.
Well, good evening, everybody, or afternoon here from the Omni in downtown Atlanta. Of course, this is show number 239 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. That's right. We are coming to you live from downtown Mawa and also downtown Matawan. And of course, your friend and mine behind the glass, Mr. Dave Sturcio. How we doing today, Dave?
Oh, I'm Jim Dandy. We are on the eve of the beer league last licks. I'm pumped. I'm very excited about the debut. Series premiere tomorrow on watch213.tv. It's going to be fantastic. I've not seen the final cut, so I'm going to go into it just blind. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a bunch, and the clips that the social media team over at 213 TV has put out have been really fun. So I'm just jazzed up about that. And
me
fans are filing in, man. We're all ready to rock.
We got a lot of social media shit going on, all kinds of posts going on here at Shea. Of course, I've been following it religiously every step of the way. Basically, I just text Dave and say, Dave, did you post that? Do we see that?
It's not even you. No. First of all, Dave, our guest that's coming on in just a bit, Dave Sonkin's the one that gives me the Iggy. Iggy is in the wrestling business where you like squeeze the hand, like, you're holding that hold a little too tight, Iggy. And he gives me the, hey, we're live, and so I don't even have to talk to you anymore. Actually, so
I'm out of the loop. But there's been a lot of posts, which is good. We pretty much. I hope we didn't post the whole damn thing, but we're close. So tomorrow night,
I was starting to get worried. I'm like, tomorrow dude, the thing's only 20 minutes long. We've got 20 posts out.
Tomorrow night, you will see the additional 48 seconds of the pilot here at Shea. You know what I love? But here's the difference between the Jimmy Palumbo Show and other programs out there. We have guests. We bash our guests before they come on. I think that's the way to go. He's in the green room right now, and he's got to take a little beating. But of course, if you're a fan of the Jimmy Palumbo Show, this is show number 239, and that means number 39. And that, of course, means Daryl Strawberry, Ron Davis, Roberto / Bobby Kelly over there in center field, who I went to opening day with Artie Lang and my brother. We sat in the deep bleachers up against the back wall, and the seats were taken out. We had no seats. And I told my brother, don't worry, I got the seats. And my brother just pointed at no seats. And I sat there with a young Artie Lang and my brother. And Roberto Kelly hit a double off the wall, which I thought was a base hit. And flew over the wall.
Tyson Hogan coming in saying the only thing he hasn't seen so far is the credits.
Yeah. I tell you, you know what? I think our fans, we're going to make them our writing. We have a writer's room. They post funnier shit than I say. And what else? We got also for you, Andy Phillips. Sturcio might remember Andy Phillips. And there's, of course, big-time running back for the Dolphins and the Giants, Larry Zonka, but he's most known for the Giants as fumbling the ball with Joe Pisarcik, and set Steve Pisarcik. What the fuck? And it's terrible. I do the show as if my brother's in the room yelling at me. And of course, you do it very timidly, as if he has like this whip, and he's like, yes, because he gets mad at me when I
don't you dare fuck up.
But for that, I'll just say to my brother, it's also number 39, Curtis Deloach. God, that's a shitty Giant. Venditti definitely went off the road there. And you got Brandon Carr and also Sam Cunningham. Sam Bam Cunningham.
Brandon Carr, who was famously on coverage for the Odell Beckham catch.
Yes, that made him such
By the way, the Cowboys won that game, in case anybody forgot.
Yes, of course. All Giant fans know that. That's why I never lied. I'm rarely a fan of receivers. I'm more of a, I don't know what I am guy. I just win the goddamn game. But we have more on the Giants later. But so that's it. 239. I can't believe we've done 239 of these bad
Mr. Will, yes, you're correct. That was not a prop. I bashed that bitch over my knee, and that's
that was like an aluminum bat. That's how strong Dave Destruction is. Of course, Dave Parker, RIP. Well, he died last week. He died today, Dave Parker? Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago, wasn't it? I think we covered that, Tyson, but I'm not so sure. All right, I shouldn't be reading the credits. It slows the show down like some scenes in Beer League. So the 3 from Palumbo, lighting it up here. I'm just gonna bash everything I've ever done.
Oh.
No, that's not true. The beer
Listen. Between the Giants loss and the Broncos comeback and the Rutgers loss, you have every reason to be bitter, Jimmy, today. So
I will. Yes, I will get into the Giant game when we after, or maybe during our guest. I don't even know, because once he comes on, we'll have him on for the rest of the show. But of course, this is the baseball card segment of the show, and I was getting notes from Janine Michaud at the Rutgers game. She wants me to change this segment a little bit, or at least go with this. He calls it "He's the Guy Who," and I pretty much do that when I go through the card. I always say this is the guy who, but this guy is completely not what this baseball card segment's all about. You know who he is.
he's
Your mother
popular.
may know who he. Oh, very much so. But I didn't realize his nickname was on the baseball card. I thought it was his like blank nickname, then the last name, but it just says right on his card, your friend and mine, Mr. Rock Reigns.
Tim Rock Reigns.
It doesn't say
not
Tim.
listen. I'll tell you right now, it's not the first time he pulled his card.
Oh, he's been on the show before, but he's there, so I got to do it. But I didn't realize that he played for 23 years. I don't think you knew that. You know what his lifetime batting average is? Can you guess?
Lifetime batting average was 297.
Oh, you little whore. 294. Very good job right there. And you got to figure, when a guy plays, most guys who play 23 years, those last 3 years are a paycheck and their batting average drops. But he hit 170 home runs, 980 RBIs, 2,600 hits, and 808 stolen bases. He was the premier leadoff guy, I guess, before Ricky, or a little bit during Ricky as well.
Mhm.
But he played 13 years in Montreal, which means nobody saw him. Then he was with the White Sox, and then he was with the Yankees from 95 to 97. Then he was with Oakland, Montreal again, Baltimore, ended it with Florida. In 1986, he batted 334, which is a big-time year. 87, he batted 330. He batted over 309 times.
Nine times.
He batted 299 with the Yankees, postseason 270 in 34 games. Hall of Fame, of course, 2017. Big money player. Now, the funny thing is with me, first of all, I love this. I do the show. I should just do this. I should just do the show, shut the camera off and just talk to myself, which I do at home.
You actually do that a lot.
Tim Rock Reigns, he's still home 10 times in high school. I mean, come on, man.
There you go. There you go, Janine. He was the guy who stole home 10 times.
And also, he it's sad. He dabbled in. He was a little bit of a running back, and 1 year in 8 games, he rushed for 1,000 yards. Okay. He also, nobody wanted him in football except for 300 Division I schools wanted him in football. His rookie year in 81, he did really well. At 82, he was a complete cokehead. Got in a lot of trouble with drugs at the time. And he kept the coke on his, in his pocket when he was stealing.
That's what Will just came in and said the Rock always slid head first so he wouldn't break the coke in his pocket.
He had coke in his pocket. But all indications that he wasn't a bad guy. He just was a cokehead. And then in 1986, he had a great year the year before, and no owner. Can you imagine a guy's bat 325, best player in baseball, and he went to free agency and no owner called him because it was that collusion.
If you have a coke problem, then no, I'm not.
No, it was that collusion thing. Nobody got signed that year, so he he was part of that lawsuit. And he got almost $1 million as part of that lawsuit. He played with his son in a minor league game. He played in 4 decades. Only 30 players have ever done that. And he was, again, this is why I do the show, Dave. Can you name the last player to wear a batting helmet without the ear flap?
John Olerud.
Oh, yeah, the ear. Rock Reigns, that was the last one. That's what it said on the interweb. No ear flap. Now, here's another funny thing.
John Olerud also wore a helmet in the field, too. So.
Yeah, but that's what pussies do. Wearing a helmet in the field. Come on. But here's another funny thing. We've talked about this. When we talk about the Yankees, how many times you and I have said, the Yankees got guys coming off the bench, they suck. There's no Rock Reigns coming off the bench in the 8th inning. And to me, he did much better in the postseason than really for the Yankees than
He's no
but they listed.
he's no Louis Soho. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, exactly right. But he had some key base hits that you always see in highlights, either leading off of the walk or getting a big double down the line, scoring Jeter. I just love Rock Reigns. Hall of Famer, but he was like an aging veteran who just like Torrey just relied on him.
One of the first video games I've ever played, a baseball video game back in, I believe it was Sega Genesis back in like the mid '90s. I played as, I guess he was a Yankee at the time, and that's how I learned about his nickname, because the announcer would say like, like Luis Polonia or Bernie Williams, but then when Reigns came up, like now batting Tim Rock Reigns. I was like, what the fuck? I love this guy. I don't even know who he is.
That's great. I love it. But he just was like a cool Yankee, especially now that it's, God, 30 years ago.
Wow, look at you.
By the way, a shout out. I called Olerud a pussy. And
yeah. Wow, you're a piece of shit. You know that?
Yeah, I apologize to the Olerud family. I just think guys who wore helmets are like, but you know what? He got hit. I should know. You know what? I'm gonna ask. My brother's definitely gonna.
Like Tim Reigns also had lupus. Like we're just talking all this shit in the world. Everybody's got something. You know what? We're at the point now where everybody's got something. So just let it go and just carry on.
I mean, all right, lupus, aneurysms, whatever.
Lupus day here at Shea.
Like, yeah, lupus day here. Anyway, I'm a jerk. Yeah, he wore that helmet. I still Olerud had a nice swing, so God bless him. But we are, I would say now we're starting to become mired. We're stuck at 54. There's no speed limit, no deep mill, which is speed limit backwards. If my daughter listens to the show, she'll laugh at that.
Wait, what? One more time with that?
Okay. I do a thing with my daughter. That's embarrassing. I know my name. My name backwards is Yamij Amalap.
Come on, dude. What are we doing here?
Your name is Okris Ivan. Which I can name Javad Neb, Kurtap Oikalak, Nahaj Amalat, my cousin John.
Bro, if anybody's just tuning in the moment, they're gonna be like, I hit the wrong button.
the best was my buddy, grammar school friend Fred Evans, Durf Snave, which sounds like a wrestling name if you ask me. But if you don't know your name backwards, there's something wrong with you, I think. So Dave Sturt Show will now be Oikrutz Ivan here from the.
And you did that on the fly, so it's not like you're even practicing it. Like, so you just know this shit. So yeah, you're dyslexic in a way.
There's something wrong with me. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but I do that with my daughter, and she laughs.
Lupus, dyslexia. We're on a roll here, folks.
It's definitely it's Guinea Day here at the Shea. At the Shea. What's the matter? I don't know what's wrong with me. That's because Beer League Last Licks is premiering tomorrow. But of course, we're stuck at 54. But I got to give a big shout out to who am I going to give a shout out to? I think I wrote some names down. I probably repeat myself. Yeah. Shout out to all of my Patreon members, which pays for Dave. Janine Michaud for trying to edit the show and change bits for me. I got to give her credit there. And for sitting through the Rutgers game. Joe Cinecor, Ramsey Guy, and Jeff Fulgione for threes. Got it. We're tied at 81. And of course, speaking of chasing miracles, doing this Beer League Last Licks thing, we're always chasing miracles. So is Dave Sturcher. I read your long post about fighting the good fight and all that stuff. Your weekly fighting the good fight.
It's getting very frustrating.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Dave Sonkin was handling your promos for that? It would be like one of those.
It would be split into 15 parts.
Yeah, it would be like I don't know. It'd be like one of those Catholic shows on Sunday morning.
I'm gonna go bring him on, and I'm like, oh wait, he left. He's had enough.
But before we get to Mr. Sonkin, we got to talk about chasing miracles. Stem cell patches, chasingmiracles.com. Give Donna and Tommy a shout. They got all kinds of shit, stamina, energy, shit your body needs. That's right. I'm wearing them right now. Wish I could even show it, but I can't bend my neck like that. Better energy, non-evasive. You can pee in the cup. Doesn't show up in your blood, any of that stuff. Go check this stuff out. When I was visiting colleges, we saw the swim team was working out. They all got those patches all over their back and shit. Same kind of deal. Give it a shot. ChasingMiracles.com here. From the Jimmy Palumbo Show, one of our longtime sponsors. By the way, Donna, I'm out of all my shit, so you got to send more. Now, we have a special guest here. It's the second time on the show. He's a feisty, good-looking fella. by way of Los Angeles and Long Island, New York. And he is the owner of Watch213.tv, where Beer League will reside. Beer League Last Licks will reside right on there. Starting tomorrow at 2:13 LA time, 5:13 New York time. And you guys have been checking out the promos, which he's done a tremendous job with. So let's welcome for the second time to the Jimmy Palumbo Show, your friend and mine, Mr. David Sonkin. David, how we doing?
How are you?
By
the way, just out of curiosity, when you tell people what this show is, how do you explain it?
Beer League or the Jimmy Palumbo Show?
No, this show, the Jimmy Palumbo Show.
Basically, I'll tell you what it is. It's two guys with no money talking about completely nothing for an hour. That's what it is. And
you know what it is? It's two guys. I have some money. Jimmy's running out of it, all of his, and his the friends' residual checks are getting smaller and smaller. So
I still got
to be careful here.
No, we're not. It's not that we're broke, but we're still trying to continuing to make things happen. I'll be positive. And all Dave talks about all day is the fucking Cowboys and wrestling and all bullshit. So on this show, he gets to still talk about a little bit about the Yankees, but then we get to talk about his name backwards, which is Oik Rutz Evad, or Evad Oik Rutz, and that to me is funny. That's how it goes on there. And so, how would you describe, since you're a big producer now, producing Beer League Last Licks, how would you describe this show?
I would say that this is really this would be like the best of late night television, but the slot that happens at like 2:30 a.m. that they've never been able to fill, this is it. This is you got the slot. You're like the Johnny Carson of 2:30 a.m. slot.
Yeah, and if we do the show live at 2:30 a.m., number one, Dave's wife will hang me, and I'll be half in the bag. So I'm like, hey, good evening, everybody.
But listen, Dave is your Ed McMahon.
We will improve on our truck driver audience. So that's a thing overnight.
But listen, Tyson Hogan said it's a nice release for 1 hour a week for degenerates. I kind of like that right there. I don't mind that. So go ahead.
So before we get into all the Beer League stuff, when do I get to thank the Giants for ruining my week? Being a Chargers fan, I was there. It was like, I'm like, excellent. Everything's going to be perfect. The Giants are going to beat Denver. Everything's going to go perfectly. When do we get to talk about that situation?
Well, listen, Mr. Devad Nicknas,
you really should. They're gonna pull you in like from the FBI or something to work with them, because this is a skill that I don't think nobody else has this skill.
At the end of the show, I'm in a straitjacket. That's how it's going to end. But listen, there's no sense talking about Beer League Last Licks. No one cares about that. Let's talk about the Giants. The Giants Sunday. I had a buddy of mine over who brought another friend. This lady who he had to do. We had stuff to do organizing this event, and I was watching the game very intently. But he started to get distracted. And Giant fans always think we're going to lose. Any Giant fan who's positive is not really a Giant fan. I was like, okay, good shape here. 6 minutes to go. Next thing you know, the greatest quarterback in the world, Dart, throws a Dave Sturcio-esque interception, and everything falls apart. The defense can't stop anybody. And they just completely fall. And the kicker, ex-Rutgers kicker, misses 2 extra points. We give up two 2-point conversions, and they get the ball with 2 seconds left, and we lose. To me, it was a horrific loss. However, I'll be positive. The Giants, for the first time in 11 years, are showing signs of like, I got my Sundays back. I don't have to watch. I didn't watch the Red Zone on Sunday for them. I got to watch them. Denver's a pretty good team. Giants hung in there. You can make the argument. There's a lot of shouldas with the Giants this year. And for years, we didn't have that. What I mean by that is we should have beat Denver. We should have beat the Cowboys. And if we didn't turn the ball over 5 times in a row, which is unheard of in football, even when you saw Rutgers doesn't even do that. we would have won that game by 20 points. And the Chiefs did not blow it. No one blew us out. And so, which is to me a sign of hope. But the Giants got to add more pieces. And my fear is that they shit the bed the rest of the year. And everyone's still going, yay, darn, Scattermoon. Like, yeah, we won 4 games. And then we got a top 6 draft pick. Now what do you do if one of these stud quarterbacks is available?
No. First of all, I don't even think there's anybody. Like the quarterback class coming out next year is nothing. I mean, I don't see it. Like the guys are falling off the face of the earth. Everybody was really big on the Penn State kid. I don't buy his shit.
I don't buy his.
Everybody's in on Arch Manning. I don't really. I think he's got the intangibles, but I don't know if he's going to be NFL good. But like,
there's other guys, man.
Listen, if the Giants wind up in the top 5, top 6 of the draft,
they have to
get yourself another offensive lineman and protect this kid. That's all.
Yeah, get another offensive lineman like Neal from Alabama, who sucks.
It's not. You know what? It's not their fault they missed on the picks. I'm saying like these are the picks you should do.
Yes, but they're still going to have decisions. And if they win 4 games, Dable's gone. If anybody thinks Dable is definitely not getting fired, you're out of your mind. 4 or 5 wins, which could easily happen. The teams are better than us that we play. Anyway, Giant game.
You really got to feel good that you've gotten rid of the dead weight and Daniel Jones. You've got to really feel good about that.
Yeah. Which
who's like now, I think 3rd or 2nd in MVP voting right now.
If you read. First of all, Jimmy Palumbo show, and it's about to happen. I said to you, by Thanksgiving, Daniel Jones is going to be slinging the ball all over the place. And the other guy said it's Shador, and now there's rumors that he's going to start a game, and I think he's going to do well. But listen, the Giants, horrible loss. They suck, and they play the Eagles now. And
all right. So forget the Giants. Let's flip over to the positive, like the Rutgers versus Oregon game.
Yeah, okay. Now, I rushed down. I'm so glad you're on the show, David. I rushed down to get to the Giant game on Rutgers game on time. We were at Providence, checking out Providence, which my daughter may actually go to. Awesome school. And I rushed in there. I was able to just grab a beer, sit down, like, here we go. We get an interception on the first series. The place was rocking. Then we kick a 51-yard field goal, 3-0. And I just imagine like the bottom line, number 2 Oregon, down. But since then, it has been all Oregon. As it was, I swear to God, I think if I was a cornerback on Rutgers and my brother was the safety, I don't think the guys would be as open as they were. I know my brother would like gauge it. The Rutgers just sucks. I have nothing good to say. I think it's time. I want a coaching change. I'm just tired. We're 3-4. We always lose 4 or 5 games in a row. Who does that?
And always win the first 3 or 4 in a row. It's so weird. It's clockwork. And since I've known you, Jimmy, this has literally been the MO of the Rutgers.
Listen, we play Linden and Carteret, then we play a regular team. We get beat. I'm just tired of it. Nothing against Shiano. Listen, the guy built
everything against Shiano. The guy can't get this team ready. I'm sorry, not in big games. Like you said, they can take down Linden and fucking and Rawway, but like they get to a game like this and they don't stand. Like I get it, the spread's always going to be huge, but these guys didn't stand a chance. I don't care who throws the first opening pick. There was no shot. All I had to do was look at the score once, and I was like, floodgates are open. Rutgers is about to get.
I was wrong. I was wrong about the Rutgers quarterback had a shitty game. But look, if somehow he wins 6 games, then they'll be calling him Canton again. But the Rutgers game was disgusting. I didn't want to talk about it. But tomorrow, David, Mr. Devad Nicknos, we have a big day tomorrow. Well, why don't you tell my audience what is occurring tomorrow at 2:13 p.m. LA time, 5:13 p.m. New York time.
The world is going to get to experience, the whole freaking world is going to get to experience Beer League Last Licks. And although based on how the editing is going, maybe we should change it to Beer League Last Looks.
The haymaker cheap shots are coming all over the place.
So no, I think we're insanely excited about this. I mean, we're that's just why we're delirious and saying stupid things. But so everybody's going to get to see
one trivia question. Did you actually get the final product in your Dropbox?
No, was that coming? Because I thought he had. I thought he had
Tom
until.
Baldinger, our
I thought
lovely
he had until
director, who we
tomorrow.
love, by the way. I'm busting his balls. He's going to be listening now. He's going to be pissed at me. I'm busting his balls, Tom. But listen, it's in the fourth quarter. Scores tie. We're all right. We're all right. But, it's only premiering tomorrow. But no, he's finishing it up. But he said he was going to
be
say
fine.
We're going to be fine. Tom, I'm busting your balls, so calm down. Have a marshmallow.
We're going to be fine. But the whole world is going to get to see the pilot episode of the brand new series, Beer League Last Licks. And and so this is really cool because and we were excited. It's really great that we're able to get it done and dropped as early. I know we're heading into the World Series, and so the timing is great. I mean, because realistically, this show probably would not have landed until the spring of next year, which is when, we'll keep doing episodes, and so everybody should hang in there with us. But this is really exciting. It's great timing. It just, it fills that slot between the two, the two Yankee games, and so everything's working out nicely.
Well, what now? Tell people a little bit about you've talked about this in the past, but this 213 thing. It's I had the pleasure of being with you at the Tryon Film Festival, one of the big ones, and the your I don't want to call it a pitch. Your symposium when you spoke, whatever you call that. It was awesome, and you had a bunch of young filmmakers and some aging LeBron James filmmakers there that were all ears. Just go through a little bit so everybody knows exactly like what's going on here. We're not putting this on YouTube. This is on now a brand new streaming service. And so tell everybody what they have to do tomorrow, what the site's all about, all your, talk about that.
If you, I'll sort of work backwards with what you just said. If you go tomorrow to watch213.tv, that's watch213.tv, you're going to see a bunch of tiny little TV screens. They're all playing different promos for things. But the very first one that you're going to see right there is for Beer League. And if you click on that, it's going to open up and you're going to see that there are all sorts of promos and things. But what you're also going to see at 2:13 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow is you will see the pilot episode. And so they can click to watch that. When you sign up for 213 TV, which does not require a credit card and will take you about 15 seconds of your time, you get a free hour of watch time. And so you can use that to watch Beer League, which I would tell you how long it's going to be, but I don't know how long it's going to be because I haven't seen it yet.
I think it's going to be around.
Depends on the credits, really. It depends on the credits.
It's about 16 minutes.
Yes.
16
So
minutes.
so you can use part of your free hour and dedicate that to watching Beer League, the Last Licks pilot, and so they can watch that. They can share it. They can they can chat with you guys actually on the site. And so there's lots of cool stuff going on, and it's really easy and shouldn't cost you a dime.
Now, I'm just curious, like, obviously you've put your best foot forward with Beer League Last Licks, as in you basically, peeling back the curtain a little bit, you're the one that's behind all of this as far as like why it's happening. All the programming on 213.tv, have you had the same interest? Have you purchased them? Like, are you the one behind the scenes of all this, or these are all like individual independent submissions to you?
It's a combination, actually. The way that it works is filmmakers submit something, and that's how we know whether or not they're making quality work. And so, for example, the way that Beer League came about was, Tom, the director of Beer League, who seems to get poked a little bit of fun at here and there. But Tom has a show on called Checked Out.
Hey, look, we poked fun at you, and you were about to come on the show. So that's what
is
the
true.
Jimmy Palumbo show does. We like the bus balls. We love Tom. So Tom, if you're listening, calm down, and you'll be all right.
He's not listening. He's right now. He's reviewing. He's editing. He's cutting. He's pasting. He's doing things. The shows, filmmakers submit shows and films and things like that, and that's how they get onto 213 to begin with. Tom submitted a show called Checked Out. It's doing great. We loved it. And so we started talking about what else do you have going on, and he introduced us to this show. And so our goal is, filmmakers have all this stuff that they've made already, and while we are really excited about that, we're even more excited about what they're going to do next. So the goal for 213 TV is to take filmmakers that have done great work and to say, okay, how can we keep you working? Because a lot of independent filmmakers, they're not making films or shows today. They're doing other things because they need to, because they don't have the support and infrastructure.
One of the things you talked about, we had dinner with some people, and you were talking about, you said two things that struck a chord with me. A lot of filmmakers, young filmmakers anyway, they do their one short, right? 20 minutes long, and everybody's excited about it. And then and it's good work. It's good shit. And then it just kind of, they put it up on YouTube. And then the person doesn't ever really do anything anymore. And yet they got all this skill. And I thought it was interesting that you were like, no, well, there's a home for stuff like that now. And also, I love the fact that you have a little vetting system where, like, someone may do something that maybe you don't like what the film or short is talking about, but you think it's really well done, and you will put that on. There's no I only want this kind of work or that kind of work. If you like their style, the way it's shot, the professionalism of everybody, the cast, the whole 9 yards, you will give that person a shot, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, we really try to make it about the quality of the work, and it's not about our opinion. We don't know what's going to be successful, and I've said many times, and you'll probably hear it over and over again, that there are plenty of incredibly famous and wonderful shows and films that if I was the first one to have seen it and it was up to me, it never would have seen the light of day. And so What the hell do I know? But it's quality work that we're looking for. So we want them to submit their project. We want to get it on the site. Once we put it on the site, we give them 60 days of promotion for free. We will promote it. They have no obligation to us whatsoever. If Netflix or Hulu or somebody comes and buys it during that time, they owe us absolutely nothing. And then if after 60 days we think we can do more for them, we'll offer them an exclusive opportunity to stay on the site. And then they go into the marketplace, which is a kind of a hidden part of the site that only buyers can get to, vetted buyers from the industry. So you could put Beer League on the site. And let's say you wanted to sell the rights for $10 million. You were willing to let it go for $10 million. And so somebody could come in and they literally could click a button and just buy the global rights in perpetuity to Beer League, Last Licks, and they're off to the races. And that's what our goal is. It's to let you have a place where you can not only show the work to viewers, give it another life or give it a first life, but also for you to be able to sell it and then keep doing, work. And so 213 is a streaming site, it's a studio, and it's a marketplace all in one.
Did you go down to the Tryon Film Festival, not only to just show Beer League Last Licks, but did you go down there with the mindset of a possible buyer too, like potential, let's bring on some of these people onto 213?
Yes, I'm in a unique position when I go to a film festival as opposed to a traditional buyer. When I go to a film festival, my goal is I want every filmmaker who's made quality work, 100 of them. I want them all to submit their work to 213, but it was also a bit of a combination because we were giving out 2 awards, and those awards were actual cash awards to help these filmmakers start to make something. So we found 2 projects where we were sort of a buyer. We didn't buy their initial project, but we bought their next project, or we at least are funding their next project. And it's funny because I'll try to make this brief, because I know the show's got a very tight agenda and you want to stay on it. So this one of the films that we chose actually was this great film, and you're going to see it on the site. It's called Howard. It'll be on the site in a week or two, I think. By a filmmaker Howard.
Howard Cross, the tight end on the Giants. It's about him.
Very similar. Yeah, very similar. So anyway, the filmmaker Pauline Kessler, she made this film, and I watched it. And when I watch films for a film festival, I watch it online. A lot of them, I don't have time to watch the credits because I'm watching hundreds of them. When I go to a movie theater, I'm the last guy in the theater. I never leave before you see SAG and Panaflex and all that. I stay to the end. but I don't have time to see the credits. So I didn't watch the credits. I watched this film, fell in love with it, thought it was phenomenal, thought she was an incredibly talented filmmaker. And then I picked that one as one of the winners that we were giving the award to. And then one of the festival directors, executives, she contacted me, Ashley, and she said, "Oh, that's awesome. That's a great film." And she said, "How crazy is that you picked a film that's starring Steven Spielberg's son?" And I'm like, "What?" I had no idea. I don't even know if I knew he had a son, and I apologize to the entire Spielberg family. But
that's great, because people think,
but,
you went with the Spielberg kid.
And it's funny. I actually have this in an email thread, so I can prove it if I need to. I almost didn't choose that film after I found out, because I'm like, ugh, now everybody's going to think we picked that film because Sawyer Spielberg stars in it. But I thought about it, and I'm like, you know what, that would be as stupid as picking it for that reason, not picking it for that reason. So anyway, it was so there's a little side nugget. And the other film that you're going to see on the site next week is a film called Evoke, about wild Mustangs. And it's a phenomenal docudrama film. Anyway, so we do try to help. Dave, I know you asked a question that I still haven't probably answered, but we're trying to,
like going down, like the purpose for going down there. Like, were you looking for those aspirating?
Well, he was a judge.
People with aspirations to be get their project out there.
He was one of the judges. Plus, he was able to incredibly friendly, nice people there, and creative community. And you were able to see some cool films and judge on them and stuff like that. And you also got to talk about 213. So I thought you got a lot accomplished.
I did, and I also got I got this guy named Jimmy Palumbo to come to Tryon, North Carolina, and and that was actually cool for everybody down there. A lot of young people had a good time with that, and a bunch of older people who said, "I know you're that guy from that show."
That guy from that show, and of course, none of them saw Beer League the movie, but but you're going to see Last Licks, because. No, it was cool to do and just to hang out with those creative folks. And I also it's so funny. You can't really say this publicly, but I'll see if I can get you to. Like, I'm not used to being with creative people anymore, like in a big event. And you forget how really obnoxious some creative people can be. Like it's like there was so many people.
Just call out Tom by name.
No. No, Tom is actually like me. He's very
Tom is down to earth, normal dude.
Down to earth for sure. But there's some people there that I feel like going like I always, but I'm an asshole, and here's why. There were certain people that I wanted to go, hey, have you ever gone to my IMDb page? You gotta like scroll. There's all kinds of shit on it. You have like 3 credits. You're acting like you're Frank Sinatra at the Sands. Will you calm down and have a marshmallow? Or they're raving about some project, and you look at it, I go on IMDb, I'm like, oh, it was done in 1992. That's not too long ago. Dave was 8 when that happened. But you missed that. There's also that granola energy. People just love and create, and I miss that because you don't get it here in Ramsey.
I have another question to Mr. Sanka real quick, just because of you're piquing my interest, because now I may or may not star in this Beer League Last Licks at some point in the pilot. But I gotta ask, like, what is the gauge of like why you would personally green light anything going forward for Beer League Last Licks? Like, obviously, this goes for any pilot on any series on any network, right? There's a lot of pilots that never saw the light of day after their pilot. Like, what do you need to see from Beer League Last Licks? Is it watch time? Is it just social media clicks? Is there just gauging interest? Are you putting it all into one? What would make you say, you know what? This got legs. Let's do more.
So for Beer League, and by the way, I don't usually do that thing that you're supposed to do with people, which is, placate you by saying that was a great question, but that actually was a great question. People always do that. They respond by starting off by saying, great, that was a great question, when it was not a great question. Anyway, that was, and so with Beer
great
League,
questions are usually followed by shitty answers.
Right. Okay, so now I'm really part of the family. So the answer to that is that with Beer League very specifically, and I said this to Tom and Jimmy early on, that it's giving the characters a chance to all be developed, give the story a chance to be developed before we care about anything else. Like I I do not, all of our filmmakers that are on 213 will tell you this. The thing I care least about are the metrics, believe it or not. I'm not watching, I'll watch it because they want to know how many people are watching or whatever it is. But early on, it's a matter of getting it out there and giving it a chance to breathe, letting these, I mean, Beer League has got so much underneath it. I mean, the reason that I think I have this quote actually in the press release for Beer League, which I'm sure everybody has seen on the Beer League social media page, and that is the characters from the original film. The original film, you know, was based around obviously Artie's character, and you know, but around that there were all of these, you know, these characters, these guys and gals who had these lives, and they were all interesting, and they were funny, and they were stupid, and they you know, and there was depth to it. So the answer to your question is that with Beer League, we're going to do a full season, and because we have the flexibility of deciding what a full season looks like, whether it's, you know, going to be 10 shows or 6 shows or 12 shows or 22 shows, but we're going to, and Jimmy and I were talking about this the other day, and Tom and I had talked about it previously, we're going to give this show a chance to really have the characters, you know, develop. You know, is Dave Destruction really a philosophy teacher by night? And, you know, we really need to get to know him. You know, it's like, where are these characters going? There are so many great things happening. You know, we've been messing around on social media with, you know, the relationship. Maybe is there a thing between, you know, Julie and Seven and Mario, and, you know, and we love the relationship between, you know, between Johnny Trino and Marilyn, his wife. And if you go back to the film, you saw little moments of that that never had a chance to. And then there are some things that, you know, we're kind of, you know, playing around with what happened to the other guys, you know, Maz and all them. And so, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. Yes, wrestler by night. We should you know, really dig into that character. But I think that
the new
to wrap
Manganelli
up the
here.
answer, yeah, I mean, the Manganelli thing is, I
We-
mean, listen, let's be honest, and let's have the Mary Tyler Moore moment here for a second. Manganelli is like the Rhoda, you know, Manganelli is the spinoff.
Right.
And so that's, you know, that's already possible. I probably have an email in my box negotiating his contract for next season. So anyway, but the answer to your question, to wrap this thought up, is with Beer League, it was easy. There were great characters. We want to let Jimmy and Tom develop those characters to the point where, okay, does this have legs? Do we really see a place to go with this? One of the great things about the model that we have is that we because we're not overspending. I guess that's a bit of an understatement. Because we're not overspending on the budget for the things that we work on, it gives us the opportunity to really flesh it out. I mean, you know, and then there are some things that I have no idea why they're working. I mean, Tom's original show, Checked Out, is killing it. And it's about 2 guys in a bodega having the most ridiculous conversations you've ever heard. Dirty Cops from Michael Friedman, 2 cops sitting in a car having ridiculous conversations, and it's killing it. And so, you know, there are various reasons, but you know, but that was sort of an answer to your question. We're gonna drive this thing off the cliff. I mean, it's gonna be
Venditti's gonna start.
Right next to Venditti.
Johnny Trino, Alphonse, and Manganelli, you know, are gonna be in a top-down car going over a canyon. You know, we're gonna give them that Thelma and Louise moment.
We should do an AI clip of that. Another thing I'll address. I've addressed on the show now. So I am close. I should say, I am pretty close, I should say, with everyone involved in the original movie. The director, Frank Sebastiano, I consider him a friend of mine. I text him a bunch of times. I haven't seen him in a while, but we text all the time. Obviously, people know I'm personal friends with Artie. I keep in touch with Ralph Macchio. I keep in touch with Cara Brono, Joe Latrulio, Elizabeth Regan. I don't keep in touch with Seymour Cassell, although I am watching the Eddie Gaines story on Netflix, so maybe I could keep in touch with him. But I got everybody's in my phone, and the thing I want to hammer home is just to people. I'm getting texts now, like Artie is not in this kind of go round for now. But no one said no when I called up each person. They all had some other things going on. Ralph Macchio did not say no. He had some things going on with Karate Kid and They took my call. They listened. Elizabeth Regan, Joe Latrulio, Cara Bono is dealing with Stranger Things and stuff like that. And everyone was like, they didn't say no, they didn't say yes, but they were like, "Hey, Jimmy, like let's keep this open line of dialogue."
Yeah, open dialogue with everybody.
And I'm hoping that someday, if this thing goes really well, that all of those characters will, in a Better Call Saul way, will pop back in. They may not be in it every week, but they can pop back in and make a guest appearance, which that to me would be really cool.
And not for nothing, Jimmy. Obviously, the original shoot to this, right, with a lot of those little mini things and the way the world works now, like with not so much AI, but the ability to talk to somebody and have them on camera and not even have them present, like you guys did with those phone calls, like. Right. That was funny stuff. So like that's a very easy way to get somebody like a callback to somebody.
Yes.
We also very cost efficient as well.
We have a couple of very good bits for Ralph Macchio that I think are funny. Him playing Maz. And I'm hoping that, listen, he's a big star, man. He's a nice guy though. No one was a jerk off about it. I'd like to kick ass and that my phone rings off the hook, but that's not really what it's all about. But it would be cool to have people contact me. Hey, Jimmy, I saw the pilot, I liked it. What's going on? And I'm even open to, because of the setup of 213 TV in terms of short form, like if Ralph were to call me up, I would say, Ralph, listen, if you want to write a 3 or 4 minute thing, and let's shoot it. We'll do that. If Cara Bono, big star now, if she wants to shoot a little funny thing, could be a minute long. We'll figure out a way to shoot it, and we'll pop it right in as Artie's old girlfriend from the movie. So including Artie with that kind of stuff. So we're open to anything on that. I have. There was some weird stuff that happened with the original movie on the business side that was a little weird and shitty, and I've talked about that on the show. I don't want that to be. Anybody involved in the old thing is certainly welcomed. And but I think the show, I should say, what happened to these guys? They're 60 years old now, and I know I still play softball. Matter of fact, I got a playoff game tonight. It'll be 10 degrees. I'll be freezing my balls off. And I was just talking to Janine Michaud about how I'm playing in another league, but they're not my guys. I don't know these guys, but these guys have played together for years. And I played with some guys for almost like 40 years. I played softball. That's a long time. And even though I love softball, I miss where's my guys? Where's the instant ball breaking? It takes time for that. As a matter of fact, some of the guys were like, "Who's this asshole?"
Well,
some guy,
that was the premise. That was the premise of Game Day. The guys before the game. What happens before the game?
Yeah, that was the original. The original nut of this was what goes on 15 minutes before a softball game. And I always wanted to pan a shot of we're still going to do this one day, where you're involved with like 12 guys, 6 conversations. One conversation, guy's talking about how he got all banged up last night. Another conversation, a guy's talking about mortgage rates and he's thinking about this and some kind of professional, like he's a lawyer or something. And another conversation, a guy's talking about his wife's being a pain in the ass, his kids are looking at cut, whatever the hell. And then the 2 guys are talking about a Skinner concert from 1984 at the Capitol Theater. It's just like, like completely randomness. And somehow the beauty of our team that we played with for 40 years was I played with a guy for 12 years. I don't know what he does for a living. Like, how funny is that? Like, when someone said, "Yeah, I went to go visit so-and-so," I'm like, that's what he does? I had no idea. I thought he was out. I thought he was like, he sold carpets on Route 22 or something like that. And I love that because whether you're a millionaire or you're struggling, when you're on a softball team together, it's everybody's even. It's basically 10th grade lunch hall, really what it is. And I think 60-year-old guys need that. Women need it too. I mean, women go out and they have their Chardonnay and Cabernets. They get all banged up doing something stupid out with their friends. They need to joke around. You need to get out. And people miss that. Not every week, not every night, but once a week you go out for a couple hours and you have pizza and beer. I think it's important for older guys. I think a lot of guys miss that. And so with these characters, it's like, all right, well, they're older. They got kids now and their kids are going to play with them. Well, how far can we go with this, you know?
Yeah, I think it's going to cater to multiple audiences. Like the 60-year-old audience are going to relate to everything that you're saying, and then when they get to know Seven and Julie and Mario and the younger kids, they're like the younger generation is going to relate to everything they're doing. So I think it's very well done. It was very well directed. It was shot in an awesome location. I think that the new scenes that you come up with and do these other episodes, I think that it's endless possibilities. You know what I mean? So I think that, and that's the beauty of having it not geared so much around the game itself of softball, but like Dave said before, like deep rooted characters. Who are these people? What are they doing? Why is this guy a pain in the ass? Why is Dave breaking bats over his knee? Like, why is he that tense? You'll find out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I think it's the cool part.
I would want every character that we introduce at certain point, maybe not right away, you find out like, let's follow this guy home. What's his deal? Same thing with Manganelli, especially Manganelli. Me, my situation will be kind of more out there from the start, but like, what makes Manganelli tick? What makes your character tick? You know, and you see how far, you know. I mean, let's face it. You know, the Cobra Kai thing from the Karate Kid. I would love it to be a little bit like that, where you learned a lot more about these different people as time went on. But to make it about, it's really not about the softball. But it's, you know what, one of my favorite shows of all time is Friday Night Lights. I don't know if you ever watched that show. Dave, you would go nuts over that show. Everybody thinks it's about football in Texas, and yeah, I guess it is. But like, I can't even remember not one game sticks out at me. I don't remember like, oh, the double O. It's about him and his wife dealing with Texas and their kids and being mentors to kids. And it's and I love that where it's not about softball, but we'll have softball moments for sure. So so now let's see, we're launching tomorrow. You're doing, I guess we got tons of more promos, right? Coming on.
Well, you don't need tons more. It's coming out tomorrow. So
well, you never know. David Soskin over here. Quick.
No, listen, and now that, I mean, you know, what Jimmy has sent me like 432 videos. I think I got one from his high school prom. I got all kinds of stuff here.
I got a lot of stuff that Start Show. There was a time, but what happened was Start Show and I we have a little bit of a system now. It took us a while because he owned the company and he was doing a thing. Everything changed, and so. I shot a lot of stuff that maybe didn't make any sense for the Jimmy Palumbo show, but then I'm like, wait a minute, this might work as a funny little interstitial, as I call it. So I realized that, Dave, you can only imagine what he got bombarded with. I was like, how the fuck do I get all these things to him? And I was like, all right, boom, boom, boom. I realized I sent him like 45
I'm sorry
videos.
for you, Mr. Sogin. I'm sorry for you.
I make sure not to. And first of all, I deserve credit for finding them on Dropbox. I want a full medal of honor for that. I was like, where are these things? And then I realized I found so many things like, oh, I forgot about this. But I think you're going to find there's a couple of things in there I still think are funny. And playing in the snow and all that stuff is pretty cool shit. But I know you don't have time to look at them. Of course, I texted, did you look at these? I sent 35 videos.
Did you get
and you know what? I decided that and my apologies to Kerry Russell and Allison Janney and Bradley Whitford, because instead of watching the next episode of The Diplomat last night, I dedicated that time to watching all of these videos of just what I think might be Jimmy talking to truly random people that he met at the park. So you know, and there's something about rice. There's all kinds.
Oh my
of things.
God! You sent them the rice thing.
What's the rice thing?
The bag of rice,
like a 300-pound bag of rice.
I sent you that one.
Jimmy got in his bag last night. He's like, you know what? This will be funny too.
I was sober as a judge.
It's possible you might want to give like the phone to possibly hand it to your daughter or something and say, you know, pick out a few things and and
I did some funny. You know what? I'm going to send. You know what? Now you being an asshole, I'm going to send you more videos, and just keep on sending him shit.
You did this to yourself.
I did. I know. Well, it's tough to I have all these videos, so we shot them, so let's throw them out there.
No, that's good. And I think, for the promos, yeah, we've got plenty of stuff to use. I'm going to start throwing in like his clip from like, being on Entourage and stuff like that. I'm just throwing random stuff that we're going to
first of all, promote. We don't have much promos from the actual pilot because you pretty much
listen, if somebody's really good on social media, they probably could take all the different pieces and they can cut their own episode together. I think they've got the full episode there.
Yes.
And it's, it's funny because this episode, one of the things that kills me about the fact that we've only shot, the pilot is that I already know through conversations that we've had, I know where this is going. And there's so many cool things that are, coming, in the pipeline, for this show, that it's like we're only giving people this tiny little taste, and Jimmy and Tom were trying to cram so much in to this one little, pilot, this, which for us is actually 3 times longer than a typical show. Our typical shows are 5 minutes long, and this one's 15 minutes long. So the rumors have it. And
they
so,
talk a lot.
but I still feel bad because I want, like, when people see this, there's so many things that are happening in the show and that they're not going to see for a little while longer. But anyway, everybody should hang in there because, we're going to make a whole bunch of these, and you don't know, you might like episode 1, 2, 3, and you might not fall in love with the show until episode 9, and it's like, so hang in there, and there's all kinds of cool stuff happening. And so I do feel bad that we're only dropping the pilot right now.
Yeah, I wish we could have more. Well, this didn't work out that way due to how the whole business.
No, I think honestly, like as bad as you feel for just releasing one thing, I mean, this is going to build buzz. People are going to either be like, "I cannot wait to see what happens next," or the opposite, and they're just like, I mean, that was good and everything, but I don't really care. You know what I mean? So you're going to get two sides, and hopefully, crossing fingers that we get more of the positive than the negative. But yeah, no, it's definitely a very cool website. I was surfing around on it yesterday, and also very easy and intuitive and just something unique. It's not Netflix. It's not Amazon. It's a little different with a different feel and different genres. And it's just, if you have the chance, go right after this episode, go explore, go see what you got, going on. And then remind yourself, set an alarm on your phone or whatever for tomorrow. And, we're off to the races.
Yeah. Now you don't have to watch it at 5:13. It'll be nice, or 2:13, but you could certainly be up there for.
It's the power of being on demand, Jimmy.
Yes, indeed. And listen, one thing, we to anybody listening, we did dabble in like a previous pilot with some stuff, but I think this is much more concise, better written, better shot, better cast. Not better cast, a different cast. I think we got where our foundation is much better from this. And I think even the name Last Licks, which is I give credit to Sonkin there for that one, and I really think I think it's funny. I think it works, and you just gotta go along for the ride, check it out, and go from there. But David Sonkin, stay with us here. We got a few more minutes. I must talk about. We got to do the Absolute Eyewear. 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, New Jersey, 732-326-3937. Go there for all of your optician needs, but it's time for them to sponsor the NFL Stinks List. And we'll just get right to it. All right. The AFC New England Patriots I have is good. 5-2. I can't believe the Patriots are going to get. Buffalo Bills average. Miami Dolphins stink. The Jets are atrocious. And there's some big news on the atrocious thing. Pittsburgh Steelers average. I watched them and I'm like, this team's so average. Cincinnati Bengals gave them a bump up to average. Cleveland Browns and Ravens, you both stink. Indianapolis Colts with Danny Dimes at quarterback, very good at 6-1. Jacksonville average. Houston Texans, you stink. And for the first time on the Jimmy Palumbo's NFL Stinks list, the Tennessee Titans have entered the atrocious level. See if they get out of that. Denver Broncos, I'm so sorry. Giants should have won the game. You are average. Why? Because I don't think the Giants are that good, and we should have won the game. Los Angeles Chargers, David Sonkin's favorite team, 4-3. You are mired in averageness. Kansas City Chiefs in third place. I have to give them a good reluctantly.
Here we go again, Jimmy.
And the Las Vegas Raiders You stink. The NFC East, I'm sorry, Philadelphia Eagles, I'm keeping you at good. You were very good for a while, but I'm not giving it to you. And the Dallas Cowboys, due to my relationship with my co-host, they have been on the stinks list for a while. They have been upgraded at 3-1 to average, and perhaps well on their way to be getting a good for me. I think the Commanders stink, and I have the New York Giants as average because I think their record should be 5-2. Now, NFC North, Tyson Hogan, big fan of the show. He's doing the NFC North, and he has the Green Bay Packers as good. I have him as average. He has the Detroit Lions as good. I have him as good as well.
They're very good.
He has the Chicago Bears as good. The Bears haven't been on. They've been on the Bears and Giants have been on the stinks list for a very long time. I have him as good as well. And we both, Vikings, I think, had a bye. And no, we have them both as average. We kept that the same. Now, Darryl Clark, whose entire family, along with Tyson Hogan's entire family, are a part of my Patreon. We both have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as only good. That's what I got to do. Carolina Panthers, we both have them as average. The Atlanta Falcons, we both have them as average. And, of course, the New Orleans Saints stink at 1-6. I thought about doing the atrocious, but I couldn't do that because they beat the Giants. I should have done it maybe. The NFC West, which I think might be the best division in all of sports here. San Francisco 49ers, I got them as good at 5-2. Seahawks as good, they're 5-2. The Los Angeles Rams, good, they're 5-2. However, Arizona Cardinals, you stink at 2-5. So we have 2 atrocious. We have 8 stinks, 12 average, 9 goods, and 1 very good, and that is to Daniel Jones. So that is my stinks list. Don't forget, go to oxymagicUSA.com, OXY, MagicUSA.com, sponsor the show. You want to get, if your carpets are filthy, I'm sure right now David's looking at his carpets saying, my carpets are filthy, I should call them.
Sam, you talked a lot of shit the other day, and I told you to worry about the Lions, and you did not, and you got your asses handed to you.
There you go. Yeah, the Chargers are
karma.
What else? Oh, now when you were talking about Monster the other day, were you talking about the Eddie Gaines show? That show? Or
Me?
You mentioned something about a show.
Yeah,
that was,
I told you it was too much for me. I stopped. I haven't watched past episode 4 yet because I just got to the point where I was like, it's too much.
Sunken, have you watched the Monster, the Eddie Gaines thing?
I have not watched it yet. No, I can't watch it because I'm busy. I'm watching your videos of you and Rice.
It's first of all, here's how you have to watch the show. You have to watch one Monster
like this,
and then you got to watch 2 Call the Midwives to balance yourself out. It's like the Call the Midwives, like Miralax for this. That show is. You know what I said, and I've said this about shows in the past. I'm watching the show, and I said, "Why am I watching this?" It's like creepy. By the way, I think the actor who plays Eddie Gaines is the creepy.
Bro, just the way he talks,
unbelievable. It's creepy.
Dude. The 2 girls walk into the Shake Shack or whatever the hell it is to get milkshake. All he had to say to freak me the fuck out was, "How do you do?" And I was like,
oh my God.
Get out of here. What are you doing? Go, no.
They keep on cutting into the whole Psycho thing with Alfred Hitchcock. Is that what that character in Psycho was based on?
Yes.
I didn't do any research on this.
You're going back. Have you how many episodes are you in?
I think I'm 3 or 4 in.
All right. So yeah, you're gonna see that they can't, like, it completely goes to that of Hitchcock casting the character. And the guy he cast was actually also a little bit of a nut. You know what I mean?
Perkins, Tony Perkins, a good actor. But you know what though? With the girlfriend and the dead bodies and the going into the caskets.
Bro, bringing her upstairs to say hello to Mother, like when she was just turned.
Oh my God!
I'm like,
how about the chair?
Like,
how about the chair with the nipple on it? The girl's like,
dude.
What is that? He's like, oh, I just like that. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah. And how about the lamp made of skin?
Oh yeah, it's not for me.
What the fuck are we doing? Like
now, there's a couple of gruesome scenes in Beer League Last Licks. where I actually killed Dave Sturchio Destruction, and I take his skin off and I wear it at the next game. But no, that show is rough. But anyway, all right. Well, listen, David Sonkin, thank you so much. You've been an incredible
Well, before we
influence.
get out of here, we got obviously Beer League Last Licks debuts tomorrow, but in the spirit of baseball, I need your World Series picks. Nobody wanted the Blue Jays to be there, but they're there. So Sonkin, I'll start with you. Blue Jays, Dodgers in how many games?
Being a Yankees fan, there's no possible way I'm going to pick the Blue Jays. But I actually think, realistically, I think it's going to be Dodgers in 6.
I also think it's going to be Dodgers in 6. Jimmy?
You know what? I've been watching a lot of Blue Jay games, and Guerrero always gets a huge hit. I think Toronto's going to beat the Dodgers. And I hate Toronto. I think they got the whole Canada thing going. They hate the U.S. So I think the Blue Jays are going to win it. I think they're going to win it.
Well, listen, I also want to preface this by saying, if you believe in history repeating itself, Jimmy, who won the Super Bowl the last time the Blue Jays won the World Series?
Your friend and mine, the Dallas Cowboys. So you are rooting.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying. Okay. And what was when the Dallas won the Super Bowl? What was Rutgers' record?
Fucking 3-9.
3-9. Thank you very little. All right. Well, listen, that is our show. David Sonkin of Watch213.tv. What do we got to do tomorrow? Anything? We just let it. Can we follow it online, or we just watch it? I guess, or whatever.
You should tune in at the moment. You actually, based on the timing of the show being 15 minutes, you could log in live, and you actually could, since it's 15 minutes long, I'd like to point out that you could actually watch it somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 times in a row, which would lead you directly into the Chargers-Vikings game. I would just like to point that out.
Okay.
So just,
Perfect.
Anyway, but no, I think you can, you'll see a bunch of promo stuff will be going out.
Will you be able to tell us on the text how some metrics tomorrow, or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dave, please listen. I beg you, man, don't tell us any metrics, because if Jimmy hears anything under, because you know what I'm going to get? I'm going to get a text. Is it good? Is this good? Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Listen, for
the safety and sanity of the rest of this project going forward.
Well,
don't tell Jimmy Palumbo any metrics. Don't.
I get a text from Mr. Sturchio every Friday that he rambles on about how this show is growing. I barely can follow that, and then I get a text saying from Venmo, send me money. So I'm like, all right, which he sets it up brilliantly, and then I got to ask him, good? Is it good? But I will tell you, the Jimmy Palumbo show is getting better and better. More subscribers, more views, all that shit is heading in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Not as fast as I'd like, but hey, I got to grow it slowly.
For all you degenerates out there, please like the video. I'll do that.
Now it's going to take off. And listen, for everybody who's going to watch the show, all right, since one of the metrics is how many people started it without finishing it. So for those of you that are going to actually come online and watch it, even if you walk away and don't watch it, just let it play through, so that way the metrics feel good.
I love that.
Let it play all the way to the end.
And one final note to any of the my Rutgers football Facebook page. Will everybody just calm down? I'm a huge Rutgers fan. I've been a Rutgers fan since 1983. I got season tickets. I watch every game. I do it all.
I'm kidding. I was like, there's no way I'm going to let this guy go on around like this.
People get so nasty when I'm just busting balls that maybe we should get a different coach. I love Rutgers. I love the page even. I think there's some funny things on there, and people just get really crazy. Everybody relax. Everybody knows we're fans. Everybody knows we've never been that good. So let's just enjoy the rest of our lives watching average to below average football.
Sun Devils. What is that?
Rutgers.
I'm in Arizona. It's my son.
By the way, our first bowl game, we lost to the Arizona Sun Devils.
I do remember that. Yeah, my buddy Mitar Radonovich was left guard for the Rutgers.
We were like the guy getting laid for the first time. He didn't care how it was. He was like, my brother will tell you this. It was the only game we traveled to, and my team lost. But we walked out of there like, wow, because it was a great game. It was a close game, back and forth the whole game. So yes, Arizona State. All right, Jay Bird. That's it. I will see you guys. I guess
tomorrow.
Next week. Tomorrow.
Big day tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Follow us across social media.
Beer League Last Licks in the house tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.